The other thing, Sabrina, is when you talked about the focus on skill development, and sometimes that HR business partners were being invested in a lot, but other companies were really focusing on the entire function at once, building certain skills. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I think the first couple that jumped to mind there are around data analysis and consulting. So those seem to be the top two that people were thinking they wanted everybody in the function to be upskilled and get to a certain baseline capability in terms of those areas. And yeah, they were doing those in different ways.
Okay. Another question here. What were the top skill sets you found to be valued by companies you partnered with in an effective HR partner? So I think for the HR business partner, and we talked about there's more investment there. Can you talk more about what you found with the specific skills for them in particular?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the conversation was with the HR business partner, HR generalist in mind. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those skills that came up were the ones that were mentioned early on in Sabrina's first
So
couple
consulting
slides.
was probably
Consulting,
one of them.
coaching, data analysis, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I think on the periphery of that too, if I remember right, was leadership and was influence one.
Influence.
Yeah, and those came more from the emerging leader population, I think. And so I think for companies thinking about this, there may be a real gap there between what we're expecting of HR business partners later in career and what these emerging leaders feel like our companies are focusing on and training them on. So if you go back to that chart, and we will send you the slides will be available on our website, and we will send them to you later as well, so you can take a closer look at that.